It's no secret that Manchester United want Jadon Sancho, but they are not prepared to pay the extortionate 108 million that Dortmund are holding out for. So today, I'm going to look at 5 potential alternatives for Manchester United in this transfer window. So the first one on the list, and it's Douglas Costa. Now, this rumour actually isn't so much because Manchester United are really hotly interested in the Brazilian winger, but more so that Juventus aren't so interested in having him at the club anymore. Since moving there from Bayern Munich, he's been a bit hit and miss. Certainly, there are fantastic parts of Douglas Costa's game. Cutting inside, that left foot is brilliant when it comes to crossing and shooting, but then there's injuries and inconsistency, and he really hasn't done enough to prove that Juventus don't need to go out and buy a few new players. They have done this summer, and it looks like Douglas Costa is on his way out of the club. United could do no worse than signing Costa, but the problem is at age 30, they'd probably be shelling out a lot of money for someone who doesn't exactly have the longest shelf life. Moving on and to a younger player in that right wing position, and it could be Ismaila Sarr if they manage to do this. Finally, Manchester United still get their hands on a player who Liverpool or any other Premier League club wanted at first. There's been Gareth Bale who decided to go to Tottenham, so did Sergio Reguilon, there's Gabriel, the Arsenal defender, who decided to go to the Emirates. There's also Thiago who chose Liverpool over Manchester United. They just cannot seem to get their hands on a number one transfer target. So, with the fact that Liverpool have now signed Diogo Jota, it's a pretty good move for them to go ahead and sign Ismaila Sarr. Watford, relegated Watford that is, apparently want around 36 million, and although that seems like a lot for a player who's going to be technically coming up from the Championship, even though he had a good season in the Premier League last year, it's about a third of the price they'll be paying for Jadon Sancho, and in my eyes, not for a third of the player. On to the third choice, and in all honesty, this is probably the least likely to happen of all the deals, because I'm not so sure that David Brooks is actually worth the reported 50 million that Bournemouth want for his services. Yes, a very good right winger and just attacking midfielder in general is quite versatile, but after a great breakthrough season at Bournemouth after moving from Sheffield United, he had a massively injury-hit season last year, and obviously that's not his fault. And obviously you could point to the fact that his injury and Bournemouth got relegated may have something to do with each other. But seriously, a man you're going to go and spend 50 million on Brooks? I can't really see it happening unless Bournemouth lower their price massively. They've had a pretty good summer when it comes to the amount of money they've brought in, especially with the sale of Callum Wilson. But yeah, if they're going to hold out for that, I think they'll probably be holding on to the player for a lot longer. Next one on the list then, and back to someone a little bit more probable, and it's Leon Bailey. Now, the Leverkusen winger is full of incredible potential, but you can't help but feel a few years ago his potential, well, was at its highest. That is when Leverkusen could have got the most amount of money for him. He was coming through at the same time as the likes of Kai Havertz, and while Kai Havertz continued to reach for the stars and got that big money move to Chelsea, Leon Bailey kind of faltered ever so slightly. His attitude has been called into question, especially when it comes up to being called up to the Jamaican national team, where he apparently wanted his brother to be called up as well. But despite this, he's still a very good player. His stepfather and agent has been saying that he wants the chance to now lead Leverkusen's line because Kai Havertz has left the club. If he doesn't get the chance to do that, then they're definitely going to be making the move to the Premier League because there have been a few clubs who have been interested. Manchester United have been loosely rumoured to be interested in the player. The stronger connections have come from the likes of Everton and Spurs, but with all of their signings this summer, it looks like United could be in the clear. And finally, lastly but not least, this isn't actually someone who's been linked with a move away from Leipzig or linked with a move to Manchester United, but personally, on my recommendation, I think he would be a fantastic capture for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. That is Marcel Sabitzer. The Austrian midfielder is 26 years old. He's heading into the prime of his years. He's been brilliant with Leipzig in the Bundesliga and the Champions League. He's versatile, has all the ability you need going forward, and I'm not so sure he would cost, I'm definitely sure he won't cost 108 million, but he wouldn't cost anything ridiculous. I mean, honestly, Leipzig have accepted a lot less for some of their players. It looks like they're holding out when it comes to Dayot Upamecano, but for Marcel Sabitzer, I reckon a deal under 60 million could be done. Again, fantastic player, and I think would fit in really, really well with the counter-attacking style that Ole has got United playing. Having said that, that of course is just one of my recommendations, but you guys let me know yours in the comment section down below. Of course, these are 5 potential signings that Manchester United can make, alternative signings to Jadon Sancho, but you guys let me know your thoughts down below. Who would you have from this list? Who would you definitely not have? And who is your personal recommendation? Whilst you're there, you can also smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.